Holy shit. Femtanyl, man bites dog. The debut album from Femtanyl, now the band consisting of Noel Stockwood and Juno Calendar. Man Bites Dog was released February 13th, 10 songs long. I was going to review this when it came out, but I've been partially busy, partially because I'm a fat, lazy bitch, and partially also just because my opinions of this kind of just kept changing as I kept listening to it. The intensity and uniqueness of this album made it quite hard to grade, probably one of the hardest albums for me to grade and give a full review on that I've listened to so far. So that was partially part of the rate. It was mostly because I was busy and because I'm just am a massive procrastinator. When it came out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna review when it comes out. And then the concert came along, and I was like, oh my god, I know, I'll wait until the concert. Which, by the way, the concert was fucking amazing, right? This doesn't mean like a lot because I've only been to like 8 concerts before. But this was like the best concert I've ever been to. It was, amazing. I crowd surfed like 3 times. I got a video showing it right now. It was 10 out of 10 concert, right? Not the album. The album was not a 10 out of 10. Spoiler: album was not a 10 out of 10. Concert was a 10 out of 10 though. Between the time of the EP Reactor, which I already reviewed, and the release of this, Femtanyl became a band consisting of, like I said, Noel Stockwood and Juno Calendar. And Juno Calendar was introduced. Noel was, the original Femtanyl, right before Man by Star released. When I reviewed Reactor, I said there was like a noticeable difference between Reactor and Chaser. And now the difference between Reactor and Man Bites Dog is fucking massive. You can, you guys probably already, I'm just going to say most people have already listened to Reactor, at least a little bit of it, and Man Bites Dog, at least a little bit of it. And you can just see the influence that Juno has had on Fentanyl's sound and just the way that the music, it is a very, very large difference between Man Bites Dog and Reactor, and it is, I'm assuming it's basically just all because of Juno's influence. The album's name is a reference to a 1992, I'm getting this straight off Wikipedia, black crime mockumentary, a French-Belgian black crime mockumentary film that is, it's pretty weird. Funny plot. I did a little bit of research, again, Wikipedia on it. And the quote that came with this album is an album about a man I know. And originally, before I, looked at like the lyrics or the meaning of the album, I kind of, this is very wrong, but I assumed that it was talking, like Femtanyl was talking about just like an actual like other human being. But no, basically, the man that Noel is talking about is Noel if she had not become trans. She had not become a woman at the time that she did. And the man that she's referring to is like kind of Noel's prediction about what she would have become if she had not transitioned when she did, becoming someone that is like alt-right or like far right-wing, spiraling down into hatred, conspiracies, religious confliction, and all while in the back of his mind, escaping just the even possibility that he wants to be trans. Eventually, in the song "Shows You the Way to the Highway," he kills himself. So some pretty intense shit here, right? By the way, the lyrics and the vocals of this album are buried underneath the heavy instrumentals and the large distortions. So, forgive me, and I don't blame anyone else for just not realizing kind of like some of the themes of what Noel or Juno were actually talking about during this thing, which is fine because it's pretty obvious that the narrative of this album is not really meant to be the main point or even like the secondary point really of this. It is kind of just supposed to be there to add themes, add layering to the album, kind of give it like some sense, some strings that are connecting between. And I think that is definitely nice. You definitely need to listen to this album a couple or even like a few times to kind of fully especially if you're not like new to this genre, even more than that probably, to kind of like grasp and understand and appreciate what is going on musically with this album. And I've spoken with like a couple of my friends that have listened to this too, and they kind of agree with that you got to listen to this like at least 2 times, right? The first time I listened to this album, I gave it like a 5 out of 10, right? I was like, which isn't, it's not a bad 5 out of 10 isn't like a shit rating. It's like a okay, the very median of all albums, right? Second time I listened to it, I'm like, okay, this is actually like, I actually really like this. And then the first time I listened to it, I didn't have any like favorites. I didn't like really anything on here. Second time, it's like, okay, Sick of It's actually like pretty fire. I think it's like a 6 out of 10. Third time I listened to 6.5 out of 10. Right? Every time I listened to it, I kind of just like kept understanding it, kept appreciating it more and more. Um, and that was really easy to do because the replayability value on this album is second to none, frankly. At least it's definitely better than anything that I've reviewed on this channel. Maybe like of all the albums I listened to, maybe not, right? But the replayability value is really, really good on here. I listened to this thing up to like 7 times. Again, why, it took a little while to get out of this. I really wanted to get this review out like as soon as the album came out, but I was never happy with it, so I just kind of I kept listening to it over and over again, which again was fine. Replayability value is good. That definitely boosts the album grade up. And why this album is so replayable is actually one of my critiques. That is because I feel like some of the songs on here just aren't marinated enough. And what I mean by that is that a lot of the times on this album, the songs just go by very, very quickly. There's so much shit packed into these songs that you don't really have time to exactly process what's going on. A lot of the really good parts of songs you only get to experience for a very, very short amount of time. And the songs I did end up liking were like pretty much always the longer songs on here. It's very intense. It's very chaotic. There's overstimulation on the ears a lot of the times, and that's pretty much my main critiques of it. And the songs that I ended up liking, "Sick of It," "Hell Target," "Buy the Pistol," were the songs that were kind of the exceptions to those. It were songs that you wouldn't be extremely overstimulated and you actually get time to appreciate it. And by the way, that guitar riff, there's a ladybug over here. That guitar riff on "Sick of It" is so fucking good. I just want to talk about that. I don't have anything to extra say about it. I just want to say that it's very, very good and I love it. That's like the best part of the whole album is that one get like guitar riff at the end of "Sick of It." I love that shit so much. That's all. I don't have anything else to say. I just want to say that. The intense electronic industrial elements mixed with the rave aspects with this non-stop harassment of my ears is, like I said, what significantly lowered the album's grade for me. In this album, it is meant to be chaotic. It is meant to be intense. It's meant to be an overstimulation. That is, they weren't trying to do anything less than that. That's exactly what they're putting out into the world. And I should say for positives, the album is very well produced. It is. Yes, I said that like it seems like some parts like kind of mush. You don't really get to experience them for very long, but it is still just the ability of the Femtanyl band to be able to create these very, very good small and short sections is still great. Like they were still able to put that together, which is very impressive, and the production is also just very nice. Again, I think that Femtanyl has never really actually had a problem with the production. The production has always been very, very okay, except for maybe like a little bit in Chaser, right? But like, at least in Reactor and Man Bites Dog, the production, even if it was like kind of like distorted and whatnot, they did it in such a way that you would actually really be able to enjoy it, despite it being distorted or intense or chaotic, which is really, really good. That's very impressive ability of them. But yeah, no fucking blabbing, bro. It's a middle 7 out of 10. Middle 7 out of 10. I'm sure of that. Okay, I'm fucking sure. All right, I changed that grade so many times. Yeah, wow, leaps and bounds in the Fentanyl department. They've changed drastically. Every EP slash album is different. So very excited for what's coming next. Lamau,